Hi everyone! Welcome to my channel, Jonathan's World. Crafting, creating and chatting. Yay! Sorry, that was a bit of a mouthful, and obviously I'm used to saying something very different, as many of my long-time subscribers will know. I'm Jonathan. I'm a crafter. I do diamond painting, cross stitch, Lego. I have done knitting and crochet in the past, but mostly it's been diamond painting, hence why my channel was called Jonathan's Diamond Painting and Stuff. But as time went on, I felt that the stuff wasn't enough really for me to keep doing extra different content than diamond painting, so I thought I should rebrand my channel and just have something a bit more fitting, so new people coming onto my channel will know what to expect. Okay, so yeah, so really pleased to be back. I've had a bit of a break over like Christmas and New Year, and up till now really. As many of you know, I created this channel to talk about my mental health because I was off sick for a long time well, it's not even last year now, it's actually the year before. I was off for 6 months from July 2023 to December 2023, and I went back last January 2024. So, and I can't actually believe it's been a year I've been back in work, so it's just amazing. And I know I had a bit of a relapse and I was off for 2 or 3 months in the middle of last year, but since then I've been absolutely fine. Work is great, I've got really good support framework, amazing bosses, in my local team anyway. There is a bit of bureaucracy higher up at the moment, but there often is. It often goes away after a while and then it rears its ugly head, unfortunately. But yeah, so but I'm in a good place right now. Excuse me. I haven't always been. I had some deep emotional trauma but I'm not going to talk about that because I'm moving on and I'm happy and I've got my friends around me to support me. So for those of you that found me on Twitch, very sorry. I've deactivated my channel for now because it just wasn't working out for me as I'd hoped. Okay. But I'm going back to my roots. I'm going to go back to doing some pre-recorded YouTube videos, the ones I really enjoyed doing, and I might do the occasional YouTube live, but back to basics. So, and I thought a really good video for coming back, I was going to do my big stash video, but basically on what has been added to my stash in the last year, and what projects I've completed in the last year, etc. But I haven't got all that stuff together yet, and I thought it'd be much more fitting to do a whip and chat, you know, to touch base with you all where I'm at. Okay, so right, well, I'll flick to the overhead camera. You might be able to see a peek of this corner here of what I'm working on. If you've already guessed by now, well done. But yeah, I will take these out of the way. Of course I always have to have my biscuits or something sweet, as you know me. Just moving my tram mats out of the way. I will talk about them in a second. Right. Okay, yeah, a little bit more of the peak now. But I'll switch to just the top camera for now. I'll put an overlay in a minute. Okay. Excuse my cuckoo clock. There we go. And it is, of course, the amazing, majestic ship. Absolutely loved this kit. Actually, I will just find you an image. 1 second. Okay, so this is what I am working on. It's a amazing, majestic ship. Absolutely love this piece, and I'm just, as you can see, I've just done about up to here. Okay, I mean, just the reflection and all the stuff in that beautiful sky, just incredible. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in now onto this little section. Now, since I've started again, I've not got very far in this section. I've done a little bit, then I've done another little bit. I've watched about 3 episodes of House in the time it's taken to do all of this. I don't know what's wrong with me. I think it's just getting back into it. But I will, show you, all the talk about all the stuff that I've been getting up to and everything while I'm doing this. Okay, so first of all, I'm just going to turn my light board on and just lock it, just to make sure it's the lowest it will go so you can see better. And I am just going to zoom you in and fix the camera angle. Okay, so I've just about got that in the best lighting and focus that I can. Always awkward with the light board and everything, but it's about as clear as I can make it right now. Right, and so I'll just swap to both of us. Okay, so I won't always be looking at the camera because I'll be working on the thing, but I will chat to you while I work. So I'm working with some of my trail mats. I'm really, really sorry for those of you watching that are... I think I've got one lady waiting for an order of like 3 or 4 of them, I think, or maybe 4 or 5, I can't remember now, but a few. And I'm gutted that I've not been able to, get round to them yet, but I will as soon as I get my head in that space. But right now I'm working on me, so very, very sorry. I know it sounds selfish, but right now I just need that me time. But anyway. Right, okay, let's do some A's. Okay. Right, okay, so, where to begin? Well, for a start, I mean, I've mentioned this on my chat a little bit, on my Facebook group. But basically, Christmas wasn't as nice as it usually is for me. It was... The time spent with my family was lovely, and I can't fault anything with my family. I love my family. I've got 2 sisters, one who doesn't live in this country, and the other who does, and they're called Katie and Lizzie. Katie's the one that lives away, and Lizzie is the one that lives in this country. So I've had full permission to just mention names and everything, but I'll never mention any more sensitive details than that. But my sister Lizzie and her husband Tim, they have a child called Alex. He is almost 2, he'll be 2 in February, and I adore him. I've got another 2 nephews, Hector and Max, who are with my other sister Katie and her husband Tom, but like I said, they live out the country, so I don't see them very much. But yeah, so Lizzie and Tim, it was our turn to have them over for Christmas. Now, basically, because me and my husband have quite a big house, because we'd never had kids and we never really intended having kids, and so we've got quite a nice spacious house, and out of all our family, really, we're the only people that have the amount of room needed to host everyone for Christmas. Now, my mum and dad could host us, could host Christmas, but then me and Alan would have to stay in a hotel, and I don't know, I just don't really want to stay in a hotel for during Christmas time. So I want to be with my family and everything. I know it sounds a bit selfish, but I'd rather host than and not have to travel so everyone's together than have to stay in a hotel over Christmas. So sister, it was our turn to have her and my nephew and her husband, and that happens like every other year because they understandably for Christmas they go to his mum's for Christmas on the alternate years, but that doesn't mean we don't see them on the alternate year. It just isn't on Christmas Day, so. And this year, basically, because I'd been off sick last Christmas and I'd had the previous Christmas off, I decided off my own back, that I needed to work Christmas this year. So I was working the early shift, so it wasn't a terrible shift, and I was is that it for them? So I was working the early shift, and that means I worked from 8 in the morning till 4:30 in the afternoon, and it wasn't terrible. I mean, I was able to come home early and be on call for the rest of the day once all my calls were done. But so it was all right, and it was a nice shift. There's nothing untoward. I saw I saw pretty much all my regular patients, so it was fine. But I don't know. It was like something wasn't the same this year, and I didn't feel it. I wasn't feeling the Christmas spirit as much, and as lovely as it was, nothing could really get me as happy as I have been in the past. And I know some of that's nostalgia, but really I did not feel, I really wasn't feeling it as much. So you know what, I'm not happy with that camera. I'm going to put it on autofocus. Sorry guys. So it just wasn't as good. I don't know, I think some of it was me and my husband just really stressed ourselves out getting ready for Christmas. We spent most of December getting the house ready and everything, and so that was some of that. And so we weren't able to do the things we really enjoyed doing as much, watching all the Christmas films, enjoying that lovely period coming up to Christmas when, all that feeling of goodwill and cheer and everything is in the air. We weren't able to experience that as much this year, and I said to my husband, we can't do that again. We've got to get everything ready well in advance, maybe spend November doing some of the deep cleaning tasks that we, tend to do at that time of year. And if any of my family are watching, it's fine, don't worry, there's nothing, to be stressed. This is what we have to do, coming up to Christmas. I think you use it as an excuse, just to get the house nice and everything for everybody, but then after Christmas it's a nice, beautiful, perfect house, for us to enjoy the rest of the period with. So it was. Got some nice presents. Actually, Alan bought me House, which I wanted to watch recently, and I've never watched it all. The TV series starring Hugh Laurie, about a bit of an antisocial, breaking the rules sort of kind of infectious diseases specialist. Well, not just he's just a specialist doctor that runs a team, and they tend to. It's almost like a murder mystery, where the murderer is whatever is causing this person to be sick. That's the way I describe it. Because he has a team of people, and they look at all these different things that could be causing the person to be ill, and and it's always something really complex, and it does give you an insight into the human body. I mean, I know some of it is fabricated and exaggerated for effect, but as a nurse, it's something that I can get behind, and it's interesting for me to watch. So, from the medical point of view. me sticking this in better position. But yeah, I've watched about 3 episodes of that so far, and then I forgot that Jennifer Morrison is actually in it as well, because I know her from Once Upon a Time, another TV series I really enjoy. She plays the lead character in that, called Emma Swan. But anyone that's interested in that is a series that is endorsed by Disney, and it uses Disney characters, but it's independently written by 2 writers that you started off in Lost, Edward Kitsis and Adam Horowitz. And yeah, they make about, I think there's 7 seasons of this show. There probably should have been 6, but yeah, but it's a good show. I really enjoyed it. And it just interweaves all the characters from lots of popular Disney movies like Snow White, Beauty and the Beast, Sleeping Beauty, Pinocchio. Trying to think. And some lesser known ones as well, Aladdin. So just lots of, if you like Disney stories or you like fairy tales, it's a really good series. I really enjoyed that. But yeah, so I got that. I watched the first 3 episodes, like I said, because I was working on this square. I don't know how this square is all blocking as well. I don't know how it's taken me that long. I'm obviously concentrating on the TV more than concentrating on this. But as you know, I do prefer to watch something when I'm DPing. I do sometimes listen to audiobooks or podcasts or things, which is obviously probably be a bit more appropriate. But not but not recently. Sometimes I just want to chill out and watch something. Now this is very annoying. Some of these clumped last time I used them. I'm guessing there will be another bag of these, so I'll just see how I go. So what that happens if you go wrong and you have a few drills that had the glue on from because they have residue of glue stuck on them when you unpick drills. Then you put them back in the pot and then it contaminates the rest of the pot. So if that happens, I try and keep the drills separately now, but obviously I haven't started doing that yet. Totally lost my thread now, but I just have to. So Christmas came and went, and actually it was a time between Christmas and New Year that I really started to feel like me again, and I just decided that I wanted to do some gaming, and I started off with a role-playing game called Dragon Quest XI, which is a very nostalgic sort of role-playing game. It's what we call a Japanese RPG. So Japanese RPGs are big on, they often have anime style characters, big complicated plots, often have turn-based combat, a lot of strategy in the fighting rather than just hack and slash, although Final Fantasy 16 is a JRPG and that is very, very westernised now. But I think that's just the influence from the West, because so many others in the West play Japanese role-playing games now. And interestingly, Final Fantasy 16, when it came out, the predominant language spoken was English, and basically they suggested if you're gonna listen to the audio, you should listen to it in English and have Japanese subtitles, not the other way around. Whereas before it used to be listen to it in Japanese, have the English subtitles the best audio experience, but now it's totally flipped because the industry has just moved in our direction, I guess, you know. But anyway, but yeah, Dragon Quest 11 is a very, very old-fashioned RPG. It doesn't rely on lots of bells and whistles like modern RPGs. Like, there are no big you can't summon big creatures to help you. There are no not many flashy things to help you out, but there are a lot of quality of life improvements. I mean, this game came out recently, so obviously it looks very good. I mean, it's cartoony, but it's very, very good cartoony. And there's a lot to do. There's quests and everything, and you know, there's a really cool, interesting plot line. And yeah, you know, so it's a really cool game to play. But so I started off playing that one, and when I started playing it, it was like I was remembering somebody that I've long forgotten, and I honestly could not remember the last time I'd actually done something just for me, and not for, oh, I'm going to do this diamond painting, I'll stream, or I'm going to play that game, I'll stream, or, you know, I'm going to do that butt nook, I'll stream. And it was all about the streaming, you know, and Twitch made that a lot worse, actually. And as much as I enjoyed the engagement I got from people on Twitch, as opposed to YouTube, I felt, I don't know, the instant gratification of those the chat comments back and everything pulled me into it, I think, and I didn't realise I was losing myself a bit and losing my identity to it, to the streaming monster. So yeah, I am just going to, so where are we? 758. Do we have any left? Sorry, I just have some spare pots. No, I don't. Right, I'm just going to find... Shit. Yeah, so probably this one, isn't it? Yeah. That's the only one left. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in a separate bag somewhere and keep them separate. Haha, very funny. Let me just empty them in here for now. Okay. As you can see, oh sorry, I'm trying to show you. You see how they've all stuck? They won't go anywhere. That's the glue, and it just makes it really hard to place. So I'm going to hope that I don't need to use these, but I will save them in another bag, because you get about 20 odd percent spare drills anyway. So hopefully I won't. And from what I can tell, it's just this section of sky that needs it, so hopefully. Okay, yeah, so I'm talking about gaming and just getting back to how much I enjoyed it and how much I've forgotten, and that's why really it's took until now for me to actually do some streaming and realise that actually that huge dopamine hit I used to get from Twitch, it was just insane, you know, so I was just blind to it. So, very glad to be back on YouTube. I feel so relaxed doing this video. You know, I can just feel the pressure floating off me. You know, and you know, this is the time of the year for new resolutions, new ways of thinking. I know not everyone likes the concept of New Year's resolutions, but I'm trying, you know, to better myself, to think what will be good for me going into the new year, as we have done now. I'm just thinking what would be positive for me. I mean, even before the new year started, I was thinking of resolutions, and I thought about ones for like my like health, my fitness, like going for regular walks, and for a time I was doing really regular walks, and I wanted to be more up to date with the news. I didn't want to hide away from the world as much as I have been, and I've done my best. I've started listening to the BBC World Service podcast, but they do about 2 a day, and then they sneak other podcasts into the feed as well, to get you to listen to other ones of their podcasts. And yeah, it was a bit, you know, so there was quite a lot, and I got behind quite easily. So just considering how I do that, I mean, yeah. Sarah says I should just read the news and everything, but I find it so hard nowadays because you can't just read the news. It's not as simple as like having a newspaper anymore, which I'm obviously not going to buy a newspaper every day. But it's like there's an article usually for every single story, and so you're scrolling through them all and everything, and that just gets me overwhelmed. So I just end up not doing it. So I just thought, I mean, the BBC World Service news podcast is like in half an hour, it updates you everything that's going on that's important in the world. So I liked that idea, but in practice I don't know how well it's actually going to work out or not, you know, so we'll just have to play it by ear and see how it goes. But, you know, so far I have much better awareness of what's going on than I did. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't know, because there is a lot of awfulness going on in the world, but there always is, but particularly at the moment. But yeah, so yeah, that was 2 of my New Year's resolutions. Trying to think if I've made any more. I mean, there's lots of things I want to do this year, but I don't really want to push myself, you know. I don't want, like last year I was thinking, oh yeah, I'll be doing all these diamond painting kits and everything, I'll be doing this one this time of year, that one that time of the year, and I ended up, I think I got about 2 big completions. No, 2 big completions. I finished off a Christmas one, and so I had 3 completions of big paintings, and I finished one of the paint gen kits. So yeah, not as much as I was hoping to get done last year, but doesn't matter, you know. This is a craft that's meant to be enjoyed, you know. You're not meant to speed through diamond painting, you know. But yeah, anyway. Yeah, so yeah, it's just a time for reflection, and unfortunately, I mean, I push myself when I do anything, and I pushed myself way too hard last year, particularly with my October event, and I know a lot of people are expecting me to do that again, but I'm not sure whether I will, to be honest, and if I do, it'll look very different to what it looked last year. Yeah, like I said, I'm still burnt out from doing tramats and things, and I find it so difficult. I find life is just so hard sometimes, and I find it harder now than I did before, because I had the mental breakdown, and I just you know, I'm very thankful to be here. I have no inclinations about doing anything, you know, but I do get low days still, you know, days where I don't really want to be here anymore, but I don't really do anything about it, you know, but you know, it's really hard. It's a hard emotion. It's not the same as, you know, feeling, I guess, suicidal. I will put warnings in the thing of this. It's not the same. It's like you don't want to die, but you don't want to be here either. It's a really hard emotion to convey, and yeah, I struggle with it. And I've always suffered with depression. I'm still on my antidepressants. I wanted to get off them in February, but I think I might have to rethink that. I'm not sure, because just after Christmas, like I know everyone gets depressed in January. You know, the seasonal affective disorder, SAD, is like quite prevalent, you know, with the lack of sunlight and everything. I've increased my vitamin D to see if I can counteract that. Obviously trying to go for the walks and everything. And yeah, but it is a struggle though, and I don't honestly know if I'll ever not feel like this. I know my mother has felt like this a lot. She thinks there's a lot of mental illness, like, well, depression in the family. And which doesn't help, obviously, and so it is a bit of a struggle, really. And I'm truly lucky to have people around me, and I don't know. I know it'll be okay. I know it'll be all right. I mean, I love my husband to pieces, and he gets me, supports me, he gets my quirks, and he might roll his eyes a few dozen times a day, but I don't mind that. That's part of him, you know. You know, just because of what I'm like, you know. But I love him, you know. And my bestie Sarah, she has been truly incredible. I couldn't imagine my life without her, to be honest. And I've like created a very good set of friends. We're all like neurodivergent, I think, but you know. But yeah, yay to the nerd herd. You know who you are. But and you know, I mean, there's Anne, who did my lovely logo. Well, the picture in my logo. I designed the rest of it, although Anne and Sarah were integral in helping me perfect it, telling me what was good and what wasn't. There's Paige. She's so funny. She always, you know, listens, and it's just very kind and very supportive. You know, often always there. You know, and I really appreciate that. I've got Dawn, of course, who helped me with my my Facebook group and everything, and she was amazing in the event last year. Yeah, and so she's going through some bits and pieces, so that's why she's not around at the moment, but she's okay. And then there is Laura, my really good friend, that she was a subscriber. I mean, most of these people are subscribers or people I've met through my channel or online and everything, you know. But no, she has been amazing, an amazing friend, and I'm so privileged to know them. You know, I've got so much support. We chat every day, you know, on a little group, you know, so it's just a really, really good thing that I have that safe space, you know, that all these people that get me, and I've had people in my life that just don't, and I've learned to move on, but it's difficult when it actually happens, you know, so you just have to be strong for yourself and for other people. But yeah, let's do the ABs and then we'll see where we're up to. It's almost 4 and I tend to have a little bit of a divide in the day, so like I will tend to game after 4 and do other things the rest of the day, so I'm not spent the whole day gaming, because it's weird, I don't allow myself to enjoy something like that, because I feel like if I do, then I will I'll not enjoy it as much because I'll be doing it too much. And often if I do game for too long, I start to feel like a bit bored of it, and I don't want to burn out on the thing that I'm really enjoying at the moment. So at the moment I'm playing a game called Witcher 3. I played a lot of it a few years ago, but I didn't let myself get into it, but I'm really, really enjoying it now, really embracing it, doing a lot of the quests and everything. From what I'm told, it's the best of its kind. It's like I mean, many of you will know The Witcher from Netflix, but the series starring Henry Cavill. Oh, goodness sake. Sorry, I just had one left of that colour. So annoying, always the way. Yeah, so it's about these superhuman characters called Witchers, not to be confused with witches. They're basically supernatural monster hunters, and I just found another. And I think they're young boys that are orphaned and then taken in by the witches, and then they have this ritual which gives them all these access to powers and everything. They don't tend to sleep, they have access to rudimentary magic, they get trained in sword play, and sword fighting and everything, in alchemy, so that's like concocting potions out of herbs and different materials, you know, and they just learn how to track, you know, you have your switcher senses which enable you to hone your vision, you know, and track things like footprints or you know, or blood, or, you know, when you're tracking somebody or something, you know, so there's a lot of detail in The Witcher, you know, and I love it, and the games, there's just so much to do, and it keeps it so interesting, you know, you only need to run a couple of 100 metres on the map and you find like a bandit camp or someone that needs some help, or, you know, some buried treasure, you know, it's just always like, and I don't know, I'm kind of departing from my games that I usually play, like Final Fantasy. I think I just wanted a bit of a change. I've still not completed Final Fantasy Rebirth, and I will at some point, but now's not the right time for that. You know, so I will just play it by ear. I mean, there's another game that I really like to play called Kingdom Come Deliverance, which is like a medieval castle-y series, you know, based at the time of the Holy Roman Empire, and that, you know, that's meant to be as almost as good as The Witcher, so I thought, oh, I'll try that. So, but yeah, so like I said, I'm going to play that soon. I've got to make spaghetti bolognese tonight, but that's a nice easy meal. We don't make it with meat, we make it with corn, which is like kind of a meat substitute. I think it's a waste product from mushrooms or something like that. I can't remember, but something like that. Yeah, and to be honest, it's a midweek evening, so me and Alan will probably have dinner together and then go our separate ways, but we're perfectly happy doing that at the moment. We spend Saturday night and Sunday night together, and we see each other and spend time, during the day and stuff, but it's been really strong for our relationship, actually. I feel like to basically both of us allowing ourselves this space, and it's like having space when someone's in the same house as you is quite nice, and I don't know, it feels like you're not truly alone, but if you did it right, if you were completely on your own, it would feel completely different, so, and it would actually feel lonely, but but when there's someone there, even if you're not doing the same thing, it's quite nice to know that they're there, I guess. But yeah, we're so close, and and I think my time off sick has only strengthened that, really. So I wish I would get less of these low days, but I'm getting there. I'm on a bit of not a high, but I'm higher than I was. I'm just kind of steady at the moment. And I'm just going to play it by ear because like I said, I had some traumatic emotional things going on recently, and I don't want to let that get in the way of whether I want to come down on my antidepressants. So I'm going to see how I am at the end of this month, and then I'll decide what action I'm going to take, whether I'm going to keep my antidepressants or as they are, go up, or try to come down, so we'll just see how things are, but yeah. And that is 4 o'clock. So, as lovely as it has been chatting with you all, I'm going to bid you goodbye from Jonathan's World. I hope you like the name and the branding and everything. Like I said, I'll still be doing a lot of diamond painting stuff, so please feel free to keep following along and just see what I do. I'm not going to promise when my next video will be, but it'll probably be my stash video, the one looking at what I bought last year, and yeah, and then we'll go from there. I've got some unboxings to do. I've got and what else have I got? Yeah, just various bits and pieces really, but it won't all become at once, and you might not see me for a week or two at a time, because I am concentrating on myself, and I enjoy making this content for you, but it is predominantly about me and my mental health, and I like the fact I can help others at the same time, but it is just so easy right now for me to burn out, so I've got to be so careful. So yeah. If you want to be part of my community, feel free to join my Facebook group. It's got a different name now. It's www.facebook.com/groups/Jonathan's World. Yeah, and my new channel, Jonathan's World, is here on YouTube, and it's I think it's I'm at Jonathan's World UK, and if you like this video, please consider giving it the thumbs up. It just helps the algorithm, people finding my videos. And if you like my content in general, please consider hitting the subscribe button and clicking the bell icon and clicking all to get all the notifications. As always, bye for now!